Just an update, everyone. Coach should be here in about 2 or 3 minutes.
Get this chair heightened on. Yeah, there we go. You go ahead.
Hey, Coach, you got me there?
Gotcha. What's going on?
Awesome. We're going to get things started. First question, we're going to go to Dan Wiederer.
Hey, Matt, how's it going?
Hey, Dan, how are you?
Good. Obviously, you guys are going to view this quarterback competition through the lens of this 3-week period in a lot of ways. But what value do you place on the success Nick had late in the season and in the postseason in 2017 and 2018?
Yeah, I think that's definitely something that really for both quarterbacks, you look at their game experience, and that's the one thing that we have to keep in perspective is how we evaluate them. That is a part of this for them to understand that that's in the past though. And now what we want to do is take what they've done and place it into what we're doing. And then situationally let them be themselves and be their own quarterback within our offense. So there's value to that. Nick's been to the very top as a Super Bowl champ MVP. And there's a lot of pressure moments that I think he's been in. And he's also been in his path. He's been at the bottom too, where to the point where you don't know how much love he had for playing the game at times in his career. And he said that it's just, but he got it back. And I think that's what's so cool on his end. Now with Mitch, same thing, you have some highs, you have some lows, but being able to use those to make you better. And that's really inevitably where they're both at. Now we need to place that within practice. And the more competitive periods that we get for them to evaluate, we're the ones that are going to have to make the decision. And then, it too, Dan, we've said it, once that decision's made, now the true test as well is going to be with how you play in the games.
Colleen Kane.
Sorry. What kind of influence do you see Jimmy Graham having on Cole Kmet?
A big one. It's one of the things that Jimmy said to us within a few days of being here with him. The impression that Cole has made on Jimmy is, he made some comments to me that are pretty impressive. I'm speaking about Jimmy, about Cole. And so again, until we actually see it on film, but we have a lot of different people that we see at different stages of their career, and being super early right now with Cole, you can see that there's a lot of ability, and he has an unbelievable mindset to be really good at playing the tight end position. Also too, with us moving him around, he's doing a great job mentally with some different things. And so whenever you have a guy with experience like Jimmy making comments like he has about Cole, it makes you feel good.
Kevin Fishbane.
Hey, Matt, I know it's early and the run game can be a little tricky to evaluate in these settings, but what have you gleaned from what you've seen the last 3 days in the run game and how it looks, if anything, different from last year?
Well, I would say for us right now, just because, again, we're at a point where schematically, whether it's stuff that we've done in the past or whether it's some new schemes, still kind of at the beginning stages of this, we're getting closer and closer. But, when we go live, you will be able to have a little bit more say. Today we did some goal line and there was live in there, and I thought the defense, they had a pretty good day on really in all first, second, and third group, but slowly work into the live, and then we can evaluate where that's at. You just have to have some rules in here, whether it's cut blocking or whether it's, taking a guy's head off on a dagger route across the middle, whatever those things that you could do maybe in a game, you can't do as much. And so you just have to kind of keep that in mind. And we all as coaches need to make sure we do a good job at understanding that, but yet staying really critical with all the details.
Jeff Dickerson.
Hey, Matt, you talked about Jimmy Graham's, his swag a little bit the other day and how he's looked at some of those goal line one-on-one drills. Just overall, from the guy does he seem like he's someone who's out there playing with something to prove?
I don't think he has anything to prove, but I think right now with where he's at a point in his career. He's played a long time in this league, and he wants to do everything he can to be on a championship team. And so none of this has anything to do about proving people wrong or trying to prove somebody right. For him, when you play this game for a long time, you want to win the Super Bowl, and that's everybody's goal. The longer you're in this league and it doesn't happen, the more you want it, I think, because you realize that, Father Time ends up creeping up on all of us. So I just love how great a shape he's in. I love where he's at mentally. I love where he's at as a mentor to these younger guys, and not just the tight ends. This guy has a lot of experience, and he's played with a lot of great quarterbacks on different teams. And so he's using his experiences to help all of us, players and coaches. But then on top of that too, he brings this mentality of every time we step on the field, it's a mentality that we are going to be attacking and aggressive, and we are going to do everything we can to do that. And so he's doing it he's leading by example, and then vocally when something well happens or physically with throwing a ball, he's going to do it.
Jason Liger.
Matt, does Robert Quinn have an actual injury, and what is the effect as he's trying to adjust to the scheme and everything else of him missing time?
Again, just the complete ramp up. And no, he doesn't. I mean, for him, he's at a point right now where we just feel like with these vets, we want to do that. It's where we're at, and we'll slowly ease him into things. You'll start seeing more and more. We're just not there right now. So we're really excited for what he's going to bring to this defense. And, the same with Khalil too. I think what you'll see as we get into this, there might be some other guys too that you slowly start seeing here in practice that you have. I don't know if you label it ramp up or ramp down days, but we'll start treating them as needed kind of individually.
Adam Hogue.
Hey, Matt, in these 3 practices we've been able to watch, it seems like Mitch has gotten a little bit better each day. Do you agree with that? What do you like about what he's shown you so far?
Well, yeah, I mean, they're all, for right now, both quarterbacks are trying to get their eyes exactly where we want to go them situationally, make decisions that we want them to make. And they're slowly getting to that point. I mean, this is not going to happen in a couple of days. It's going to have to happen in a couple of weeks in regards to the decisions that we make. So once we go back here, Adam, and start watching today's tape, we'll be able to see really how today was, in particular, if you're asking about Mitch. I thought that there were some good decisions that he made with throws. There was a few where he was late on a couple routes as well, but Nick, the same thing. So the beauty of this game is that you teach off of your errors, and we're going to do that, make sure that they understand it. And then tomorrow and the next day on those particular routes, timing routes, they fix those and they come back and don't make that same mistake twice.
Adam Johns.
Matt, to kind of follow up on that, you mentioned yesterday you didn't like seeing all the incompletions in 7-on-7. Looked like Mitch was better in that regard. And then later in goal line, it seems like, at least from our vantage point, he ran out of bounds potentially for a sack. So when you're, as Flip said, is all the stuff that goes into the decision-making and the grading, I guess, how do you view maybe success in 7-on-7s versus, what happened there in goal line and how you evaluate that?
Adam, that's a great observation by you. And you're right. Those guys we told them what I tell you a few weeks ago. I forget when it was. I told you we're going to tell them when they play crappy, and we're going to tell them when they play well. And so whether that's the accuracy of a throw or whether that's a decision, when the ball is on the 1 yard line and you have first and goal at the 1, sacks are, when you're on a scramble, you got to throw the ball away. And so he knows that. We told him that, but those are critical errors that we just can't have. And he's not going to do that again. He's going to fix it and move on, but teachable moments. So it happens here in practice. Now it doesn't happen in the game, but if we're not telling him that, then that's our job. That's shame on us as coaches. So, and we need to make sure they understand the why. So in regards to situational football, that's a situational play that we need to be second and goal at the 1 and not second and goal at the 3. So he'll fix that problem and he'll move on and do better tomorrow.
Pat Finley.
Matt, we've talked the last couple of weeks about what you were going to do in practice to simulate competition and simulate game action and all of that. I'm curious, are there things that we don't see inside the building that you guys are doing to ramp that up, or at least try to simulate some sort of intensity that might not have been there a year ago?
No, not really. There's nothing that we're doing inside the building. There, as time is just going to start getting longer and longer here with some of these practices and what we're allowed to do with pads or no pads. And so for us, it's the ability for us to make sure that the competitive stuff, a lot of it is going to be more of game-like situations, maybe some live situational stuff, similar type scrimmages, that sort of thing, as we start putting together the scripts as to when we want to do that. And so some of that stuff will be coming up here, which I think you guys will see. But then at the same time too, at the end of practice today, we used about 3 minutes of our practice time and just to keep it fun and lighthearted as we go and break up the monotony of the practice, we went ahead and shot a couple punts from the jugs up in the air. And I don't know if you all saw that or not, but we had Akeem Hicks versus Afedi for that. And there were some consequences there as to who catches it and who drops it. So I'll let them tell you who won that, but there was a winner. But so we did that for a couple minutes and then we got right back to special teams. But those are the type of things that we're doing certain times. There's no rhyme or reason as to when we do it, but it just keeps the guys, keeps them loose. It keeps us having fun. And, it's just something that we're going to continue to do.
Cam Ellis.
Hey, Matt, you talked about the running backs a little bit, but what have you sort of been encouraged by in their passing game with, the running backs' connections with the quarterbacks, be it pass catching or, pass blocking? And how sort of encouraged are you that aspect of your offense can improve this year?
Right. Yeah. For us, we want to be able to use the running back. That's nothing different. It's always been a part of this offense, is being able to use the running back when you can out of the backfield. And we know that we have guys that can create mismatches. So we just need to make sure that the details of what we want to do, they understand so that we can teach it and then they can go play. We don't want them thinking a whole lot. So we really like where we're at with that kind of stuff. And we think that too, the last couple of years, that we can continue to grow there. And so right now, that the backfield that we have, that assembly of guys, they're working every day with Coach London at being great at that stuff. And so we're just going to continue to keep working it.
This will be our last question for Coach Dan Wiederer.
Matt, how are you personally dealing with the tension of it's early in training camp and mistakes are going to happen versus it's late in training camp and we're 2.5 weeks away from week 1?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a balance there. Things will start really picking up here that we're getting more stuff on tape. I think that's all I can really say is this volume of tape on the field that we haven't had, we now can start compiling and start going back and rewatching it. Coach, when you talk specifically about the quarterback position, Coach Flip he has a really good chart that we use to be able to kind of take it day by day. We take our notes and we go ahead and we discuss where it sits and where it's at. Obviously, none of that stuff we're going to get into publicly, but we know and we're able to have a good understanding where that's at, along with these other positions too, in all 3 phases, in particular on offense and defense. So the time here is going to slowly start creeping up on us. We're aware of that. That's where we got to be super efficient with our practices, and every rep, you know, for instance, on offense, Coach Laser's doing these scripts with Coach Rags, and we're making sure that there's not a time that we ever just pick from a piece of paper and throw a play in there. There's a reason why that play is scripted. And now we're able to, at the end of this thing, look back whenever the time comes, there's an equal amount of reps, and it's fair as for both quarterbacks. Are they going against the 1 defense, the 2 defense, or the 3 defense, and who are they throwing to, et cetera. So we'll use all that. And the closer we get here to when we want to make a decision, you know, the more reps we'll have on film.
That's it, Coach. You're good.
All right. Thank you, guys. Take care.
So you can see everyone.
Go ahead, Eric.
Hey, Jimmy, you got me?
Yes, sir.
We're going to kick things off. Mark Grody.
Hey, Jimmy. A lot has been discussed about Cole Kmet. Your head coach, Matt Nagy, said that you've kind of been raving about him. What is it about Cole Kmet that you've seen that you like so much, and maybe as opposed to other young tight ends that you've been around?
First, you know, his intelligence, you know, his football intelligence, and, you know, his ability to soak in these plays and understand his assignments and, you know, understand football and defenses is extremely impressive for, you know, a young kid who's, you know, doesn't have a game under his belt. You know, that's been the most impressive thing that I can say I noticed with him. Also, you know, he's every bit of 260. You know, he reminds me of a young me, and, you know, he's got big legs, and I mean, the amount of potential that the kid has and the amount of talent that he has is truly unbelievable.
Caitlin Sharkey.
Jimmy, what have been your initial impressions here in camp of both Nick and Mitch and kind of that whole competition? You've been through a lot of training camps. You've worked with a lot of quarterbacks. What's kind of been your impressions early on?
You know, you know, obviously, man, they both, you know, they've both played some ball and they've seen a lot. You know, we have a bunch of new coaches and you know, so their ability to soak all that in and, you know, still be competitive. You know, I mean, for us, every period, every pass and every play is extremely competitive for both of them. You know, it's been amazing to see both of them handle it and, you know, both of them grow each day, you know, in this offense and, you know, with the new things that are being asked.
Pat Finley.
Jimmy, take this question in any direction you'd like, but what's been the biggest difference between here and the Packers through your first week?
I mean, besides the fact that they both hate each other, you know, it's, you know, obviously 2 years with the Packers, you know, for me was a unique time. You know, obviously going through the head coach change there, you know, wasn't something I was expecting. And you know, to go through the new coach and have a new offense. So, you know, this will be my 4th offense in 4 years. You know, the Bears organization from top down, you know, nothing on the Packers, you know, obviously, you know, I had a great season with them last year, you know, going to the playoffs, but, you know, this team, all they care about is winning, and all they care about is that Super Bowl. You know, from the owner to the GM to the head coach, that is the complete focus on is, you know, how to do it and do it now. And, you know, it's the amount of energy that's in this building and the amount of hard work that we're doing over here is special. You know, this team has a lot to prove, and, you know, we know that we're going to just work each and every day to get better and better. And, you know, as an offense, being able to play against that defense every day is special. You know, they got a bunch of dogs on that side, and you know, we got a bunch of dogs on this side. So, you know, we're continually working each and every day, you know, sharpening that iron.
Colleen Kane.
Hey, Jimmy, you talked about having experience getting up to speed with new offenses, but what's it like trying to do it in such a short period of time and also while a quarterback competition is going on?
Yeah, it's an extremely unique situation, I think, for not only us, but everybody in the league. The one good thing is, we've put in a lot of work off the field. This team, everybody came in shape and everybody came ready. There's been very, very little minimal mistakes. And, this has been this training camp. If one mistake is made, it's quickly learned and on to the next, and it hasn't been repeated. Obviously this is unique with the offense and with the quarterback, but we believe in each other, and we know that every time we go out there, we have to, be locked in mentally. Coach has been really great with these walkthroughs, and with making sure that guys are paying attention to detail. That's been the biggest thing that's running through is the details. We can't let things slide. It's I always say in my tight end room that we're not friends, we're family. Family, they like to talk noise, but they also tell you when you're doing wrong. Friends are the ones that just pat you on the back. So this organization, this offense, our head coach, he's about family. So that's what we're doing. We're holding everybody accountable, and we're making sure that everybody knows the standard of how this offense needs to run.
Dan Wiederer.
Hey, Jimmy, just following up on that, what did you do this spring and this summer to stay locked in when you couldn't be here? And just, obviously it's a short on-ramp for everybody going into the regular season, but for you joining a new team, a new offense, a quarterback competition, how are you dealing with this sort of condensed time period to be ready for week one?
I've gone through kind of this being away from the team a few times in my career. If it wasn't the lockout year, then it was, it was the year I had a wrist surgery, or the year that, I held out, and all those times I came ready. So I came with kind of that approach to this offseason of, doing what I know best, and that's work. I had the ability to work, unfortunately, by myself for 6 months, so I knew that coming here, it was going to be the first time I got to meet my new brothers, and the first time I got to be able to work out around these guys. For me, I was just hungry to get back in here with the guys and to be around a team. I remember 2 years ago when they won, and, they're going in the playoffs, and the party that they had in that locker room. I remember what that looked like on TV. And so I knew what type of team, I knew what type of guys I was coming into this locker room. Keem Hicks, me and him go back a long ways. He's a big reason I am here. I know the type of player he is, and I know the passion he brings to this defense. Bringing Ted Ginn in is huge. He's an old vet that I've always looked up to. He's been around the league, and he's seen a lot of ball, and he has the ability to help his guys in his room. As we're going to need everybody, every man up, every down and every game. And that's how we're approaching it. So that's how I saw, an opportunity to get in here and, to fill my cup with my brothers and to work on moving forward.
We're going to go two more for Jimmy. Mike Berman.
Jimmy, as you know, the tight end position did not perform like it needs to for the Bears last season. How do you envision the tight ends playing a big role this year and making a bigger impact, knowing what you do about yourself and Cole and how the tight end fits into Matt's offense?
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened here last year, but, it's a new year. And for me, I'm going to bring my mindset and my work ethic, and I'm going to make sure that our room holds ourselves accountable. We're going to give everything we have each and every play. I can guarantee that. I can guarantee no lows, and I can guarantee that we're going to know exactly what we need to do and how we need to do it. Being one of the older guys on the team, I'm going to continue to be vocal, in a positive way, and to uplift my guys, just to make sure that everybody goes into each and every week extremely confident, and is ready to play, ready to have fun out there. And the only way to have fun is to move that rock, get third downs, and score. And, that's the only mindset that we have.
Last question for Jimmy. Larry Mayer.
Hey, Jimmy, with the opportunity that you have this year to be a big part of the offense, how would you say, how rejuvenated do you feel joining the Bears this year?
Man, it's a truly special time for me. I have a lot to prove. I have a big chip on my shoulder to do as best as I can with this new opportunity. I'm extremely blessed to be here with such a young group of guys that are so hungry. I know you guys aren't in this locker room, but you can feel the buzz, and you can feel the buzz in the building. There's no excuses. No one's looking around and saying, we got to do this, we got to do that. This organization has done a great job to keep us all healthy, to hold us all accountable, and to make sure on these off days that we're accountable, so that we come in here and work. For me, this might be the most special time, because I want to retire here, and this is where I want to end it. And there's only one way to end it, and hopefully that's a win in that final game.
Thanks, Jimmy. You're all set. Appreciate your time.
No worries. Thank you, guys.
Cole Kmet should be down in about 5 minutes. Cole's on the way down, guys. Cole, can you hear me?
Yep. Pegs out of that. We're good.
Awesome. We're going to get things started here. Mike Berman.
Cole, how have you been helped by Jimmy Graham? What's the influence he's made on you? He has very lofty praise for you and your intelligence, and he said you remind him of a young him. So what's the impact Graham's made on you, and what does it mean to hear that he thinks so highly of you?
Yeah, I mean, he's just he's been a great influence for me since I've gotten here, and just really helping me out, showing me how to be professional. And you're going from college where things are kind of regimented in terms of going to class and stuff, and being where you got to be at time, and doing what you have to do. And Jimmy's just been great in terms of showing me just all the extra things that you have to do in order to be a great professional. And he's just been really helpful throughout this whole process.
Colleen Kane.
Hey, Cole, what's been the most challenging part for you trying to get up to speed so quickly, with the season just a few weeks away?
I guess just, getting back to play and this type of play, this is a lot faster than college is, a lot more physical. So, just trying to, kind of get into that habit in terms of, going against these type of guys. And, obviously when you're going against, the top defense in the league every day at practice, you'll get used to that pretty quickly. But I think just trying to get as many reps as I can from now until we kick off against Detroit.
Cam Ellis.
Hey, Cole, sort of like you were saying, have you had a lot of rookies talk about that sort of welcome to the NFL moment, whether it's the speed or specific hits? With the way you guys have been practicing, have you been able to have sort of that moment yet, or not really?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was the first day of pads, and, I had a cutoff block, and, I look up and I'm going against 5'2", so that's a little wake-up call for me. So that was my thing. It was like, wow, that was pretty cool. Like, I just, had to go block Khalil Mack and stuff. So, things like that, and going against our defense, whether that's, Eddie Jackson and, Danny Trevathan, those type of guys. So going against all of our linebackers, D linemen and and our safeties and corners, like it's pretty cool. So for me, when we threw those pads on the first day and started hitting like that, that was kind of my, kind of welcome to the NFL type of moment.
Kevin Fishbane.
Hey, Cole, a lot of people have talked about your ability to pick up the playbook so quickly, and it's from the Zoom calls and up till now. What's allowed you to kind of be able to, from a mental standpoint, get to a point where you're ready to go with the playbook already as a rookie?
Yeah, I think for me it was a lot of help from Coach Barone and in our Zoom meetings, and him spending the extra time that that I wanted in order to get this playbook down, and a lot of help from my brother back at home when we weren't doing much in quarantine. We'd go work out together, and then I'd get a script going, and I'd kind of run through the plays and kind of go through it like that. So I did as much as I could during that time, and so I could be as well prepared as I could be for training camp. And I feel like that's really paid off up to this point.
Dan Wiederer.
Cole, you had a unusually long wait between draft weekend and the first time you actually got to go to work at Halas Hall. What do you recall about your first day of actually getting to the building and just finally walking in those doors?
Yeah, I mean, it was just a dream come true for me. I've dreamed about this since a little kid, and obviously when you're a kid playing sports, you always dream of playing for your hometown team. So, kind of be able to do all that is pretty special, and I don't take it for granted. So, I'm just really happy to be here, and I'm here to prove myself every day. So, that first day coming in was just a really special moment for me, and I was just excited to get going.
Mark Grody.
Hey, Cole, Coach Barone, I believe it was, said that he has you ahead of schedule, ahead of where he thought you would be at this point. Are you farther along at this point than you thought you would be? Because you've been getting some pretty high praise from a lot of people so far.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, like, I'm just coming to work every day, and that's up to the coach to decide. And, I feel like I've been doing a good job out there. I've been putting my best foot forth every day and stuff like that. And I've been coming to work. So, my goal is just every day to get better. And, I find something every day that I can work on, and, whether that's high point in the football, working technique on blocks or kind of things like that. So just trying to pick something every day to work on and continually get better. And, I know this is a long process in terms of, becoming a complete football player. So, being able to learn from guys like Jimmy Graham, Demetrius Harris, and then obviously like Coach Barone and the rest of the guys in the room has been really beneficial to me. And that's what I'm going to do every day, and just continue to progress as a football player.
Adam Johns.
Gold, to go back to Jimmy a little bit, when you see him score and spike the football or throw it across the field, I think you got to throw in there later after your own touchdown. Like, what does that do for you when you see the leader of your room, a guy you look up to do that? Like, what are take us through the emotions, especially being so close to him?
Yeah, I mean, it's okay to have fun out there. I come from college where you're not allowed to celebrate like that, but you can here. So I'm going to make the most of it. When we make a big play in practice, we're going to celebrate and we're going to have fun with it. And, we're going to have a lot of fun in the end zone. So, just taking that energy, and that bleeds into the next thing. So whether that's, going from one-on-ones to team run or team run to a full team segment, those things kind of transition to one another. So, bringing that energy and, providing that energy for everybody else can really be beneficial for the team. So, that's something that I picked up on, and, it makes practice a little more fun.
Dan Wiederer.
Cole, Clancy talked yesterday about his own juggle of trying to be patient, but also understand the urgency. As a rookie, how are you getting your brain around just that it's really early in camp, but it's also getting really late in camp at the same time, and there's that sort of collision of patience and urgency? Yeah,
it's tough. And, this is obviously a year that no one has really gone through. And I think the last thing that was kind of similar, I guess, was the lockout, but, even that was, it's just a little different. So I think, I don't know. I think I'm trying to make every rep count, and learn from every rep. So whenever I take, those reps are really valuable. You only get so many in a practice, and you really got to make those count. So whether that's, you making a mistake, you got to know, okay, I made a mistake here, and correct it the next day. So it's got to be quick fixes, and you got to show that you're able to adapt quickly. So I think that's it. Not afraid to make mistakes, obviously, in practice, because you don't want to be tense out there. But when you make a mistake, coming back the next day and improving on that and showing that you corrected it. So I think I'm trying to take those things and just be mindful of that, and just trying to correct things quickly and do them the right way.
Adam Johns.
Hey, Cole, in terms kind of going off that, in terms of like earning the trust of Mitch or Nick, they've given you a few opportunities to go up and get it. Like when you have those opportunities, in whether it's success or failure, I guess, how is that rapport kind of coming along, through those opportunities when they give you that opportunity to make those big time plays?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, I want to come down with those so they can have that faith in me. And, I'm doing my best, whether it's we do 1-on-1, 7-on-7, to make those plays and showing that I'm capable of doing that, but also, getting them with them after practice and working those type of routes and those plays on the ball. So, getting with them after practice and doing those type of things to kind of instill trust in them, like for me, and is a big deal. So I think I'm, continue to rep those out, and obviously I'm gonna get a ton of opportunities like that in camp and, up until our first game. So just continue to make plays for them and show them that I'm capable of doing that type of thing.
We're gonna have two more for Cole. Pat Finley.
Hey, Cole, forgive me if you've been asked this already, but how old were you when you first became aware of who Jimmy Graham was? And was he anybody that you tried to pattern your game after, even when you were just a little kid in the front yard?
Yeah. I think I was 12 years old when I knew who Jimmy Graham was, and I got his jersey when he was on the Saints. So I was telling him that the other day. We were laughing about it. But, yeah, I mean, he's a guy that just goes up and gets it. So that's something as a tight end you always look after. And, yeah, I know. So I've known who he was since I was 12, and to kind of see him now and, for him to be teaching me some things is pretty cool for me. So as a fan of football and, as a player of the game, it's been pretty special for me to be able to learn from a guy like that.
Last one, Mike Berman.
Cole, for the tight end production just wasn't there last year in this offense. How much can you sense an urgency among Matt and coaches to get production out of that tight end room this year? And how do you envision the tight end stepping up more and being a bigger part of the offense?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I wasn't here last year, so I can't speak on behalf of that. And, I'm just concerned about what I got to do every day. So, they're going to give us plays in practice, and we're going to make those plays. So, whether that's in a goal line situation, red zone situation. That's where we got to make things happen. And I think we've done that the past couple of days when we've had those opportunities. So we're just going to continue to do that to show coach that, hey, you can put 2-3 tight ends on the field and we're going to make plays. We're a pretty close group right now in our room, and we've been having fun with one another. So we're going to continue to show coach that you can put as many of us as you can on the field, and we're going to continue to make plays. So we're just going to keep doing that and having fun with those things.
Awesome. Thanks for your time, Cole.
All right. Thanks.
You got me, Jalen?
Yes, sir.
You got me? Okay, cool. We're going to get things started here. Dan Wiederer.
What's up, Jalen? How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Real good. Chuck said yesterday that one of the things he's curious to see from you when you're full go is how you respond to getting beat. And that's going to come, and he wants to see how you react to that. How would you reassure him about what it's going to be like after you make a few mistakes and get beat by NFL receivers a few times?
Honestly, I just think that's through actions. I mean, I can say, oh, I'm going to be tough, coach. I'm going to be all right. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to when I get in that moment, how am I going to show them? How am I going to respond? I mean, I've been beat. I mean, I play the corner position. So, I mean, you're going to get beat all the time. Well, not all the time, but you're going to get beat a few times. So, I mean, at the end of the day, for me, it's just about having that confidence that I'm going to get the next one back or I'm going to make a play and make up for it. So, I mean, I'm not concerned when that situation does come.
Brad Biggs.
Hey, Jalen. I'm curious, when did you get a feel when you were a freshman in school that you were going to have a chance to contribute in that first season? And what are some sort of things you're trying to show the coaches to prove that you can help them right away here?
My freshman year, I want to say in college, I knew right away coming into it. I knew what the depth chart was looking like on my way into Utah. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it was just about learning my assignment and then just perfecting my technique. And that was something I did throughout my whole career. So, I mean, nothing changes now being a rookie, just coming in, showing them that I know my assignment and then that I can perfect my technique and play good football.
Kevin Fishbane.
Hey, Jalen, from what you have been able to do in practice so far, what have been your impressions in terms of the speed of the game, the speed of some of the receivers you've gone up against? How have you kind of felt so far in this first 3 days?
I felt really good. Just from what I have been able to do, just going out there and being able to compete. The speed hasn't been too shocking for me. It's been really easy to adjust to. So, I mean, it's just about learning the game, learning some tricks that come with going to the next level and playing against professional athletes. So, I mean, it's just about going day by day and just getting better every day.
Jason Leisure.
Jalen, along those lines, how quickly did you feel that you were ready to play at this level?
I mean, I've always felt like I was ready. Even in college, I prepared my whole life. I prepared in college. Just everything I've been doing was to be ready for this situation. So now coming into it and it being real, I feel like everything I've worked for, everything I've been doing all these years, I mean, just came to pass. And now that I'm here, I feel like I'm ready. And I mean, I still have my rookie mistakes to get out the way, but I mean, physically, I feel like I'm ready and I'm up there with the best of them.
Pat Finley.
Hi, Jalen. Walk us through after having the shoulder surgery. When did you start to feel somewhat normal again, and how do you feel now?
I mean, I feel good now. I couldn't tell you when I started feeling normal necessarily. It was just about attacking my physical therapy day by day and just trying to get better every day. And then gradually, I mean, I don't know at what point I felt normal, but I feel pretty good now considering where I'm at in my timeline. So I'm just still building every day, just trying to get better.
Is it hard to stay patient?
Yeah, definitely. When you see everybody out here competing, and you just want to get a part of all of it entirely. So, I mean, for me, it's just staying true to myself and just knowing who I am, what I'm able to do, and then just trusting the staff, trusting the trainers and everything like that, just that they're protecting me and that I'm going to be good for the long run.
Mark Grody.
Yeah, that said, with the ramping up period, Jalen, do you think that you do have a chance to be a starting cornerback when you guys open the season in Detroit? Are you going to have that opportunity?
I mean, I have no idea. I don't know what the head man is saying. I don't know what the coaches are saying. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to go out and get better and do my part. And then if they select me to be that, then I'll be more than ready. But I mean, I don't know that answer.
Brad Biggs.
Have you been able to learn? I'm sure you're picking up stuff from the fellow cornerbacks in the meeting room on the practice field. Have you been able to pick up some stuff that you can use and can help you from some of the wide receivers?
Yeah, definitely. And one thing I like about this team is they give a lot of feedback. So I mean, when we go through 7-on-7, we go through drills or whatever, there's some times where they give us give me some tips. I don't know if they do that to everybody, but they give me some tips and saying, hey, when certain things are going this way, you can expect certain things. So I mean, that's just very helpful, getting that information, getting that feedback from them. So I mean, it's definitely a pleasure to have teammates that care and want you to get better.
Do you have a specific example of maybe somebody that pointed something out to you?
You said what?
Do you have a specific example of maybe a teammate that sort of gave you a small pointer like that?
I would say Jawan Williams, we call him Juice, but there was definitely a time where he helped me out.
Dan Wiederer.
Jalen, what's the extent of your relationship with Kyle Fuller early on, and who else have you developed a bond with early on?
To the extent, I mean, we're just teammates, I guess, right now. I mean, I reached out to him during like some of our Zoom meetings and just was talking to him about how he prepares, what he was doing in the off season, just trying to learn from him. Because I mean, he's been doing it and he's been in the game for a long time. So even now, being in the facility again, I've asked him to watch film together. I asked him certain things he's looking at, how does he play certain techniques. I mean, for me, I just feel like it's about showing effort to these guys that I'm really trying to learn. I'm trying to be where they're at. So I mean, even with Eddie Jackson, we've gotten closer on the field as time went on, and just being able to make improvement with those guys off the field as well is helping on the field.
Mike Berman.
Jalen, you said, you don't know if you're going to be a starter week one, but it seems like the opportunity's there for you to compete for a starting job opposite Kyle as a rookie. How do you view that opportunity, and what are the steps that you plan to take to try and earn that role?
I mean, the steps I've been taking my whole life, just trying to get better day by day, just going at each day, just trying to attack it and really get better mentally, physically, spiritually, mentally, just trying to prepare myself in all aspects of life to be able to overcome that position and really be able to take it over and just have the trust of the teammates and the team and organization as a whole that I can fill that position.
Last two here for Jalen. Pat Finley.
Jalen, I'm curious what it's like to see Artie Burns, one of the guys you're competing with, go down literally on the second day. And have you talked to him since his injury, and what advice has he given you?
I mean, that definitely is terrible on different levels. I would never want to see a teammate go down. So, I mean, when he went down, it was kind of the whole sideline kind of just went down. The little mojo kind of changed a little bit, just seeing that our brother went down and that he's not going to be able to compete and play with us this year. So, I mean, every time I see him, I try to lift him up, say what's up to him, really not talk about the injury too much, but just let him know that I'm here and just being able to say what's up or whatever it can be to help him keep his spirits up.
Last one, Dan Wiederer.
Jalen, what are your curiosities about playing football in an empty stadium when the season begins? And as a rookie, is it a bit of a buzzkill to have that part of the NFL experience not there the first year?
I definitely feel like it has its pros and cons. I mean, definitely I've never played or been to an NFL stadium before. So, I mean, just being able to miss out on that experience is a bummer. But I feel like communication and being able to hear other people talk on the field would be fun and interesting, and you can definitely communicate better in the practice field with no fans, and it will kind of be the same thing on game day, having no fans, being able to really communicate and hear each other and just talk through plays and things like that.
Awesome. Thanks for your time, Jalen.
Thanks, Jalen.
Is that it? Do I have a Zoom?
No.
Or is that it?
Next.
Can you hear me, Kevin?
Yep.
Media, we got Kevin Tolliver here. Pat Finley, go ahead.
Hey, Kevin, coming in to this year, how much can you lean on last year and your knowledge of the defense, hopefully to give you an edge in this competition to start?
I mean, just learning other positions, learning, what everybody else has around me, learning where my help is at. That'll just make the game go slower. So I feel like I have an advantage there.
Kevin Fishbane.
Hey, Kevin, some of your coaches have talked about, you obviously have all the physical tools. It's just making sure that you're where you're supposed to be, you're doing the right thing. What have you done over the past offseason to get that grasp on the playbook, to get where you need to be, kind of mentally?
I would say, like I said, just learning, what the safeties have, what the linebackers have, just, making, getting a better feeling of the playbook and, just trying to be more physical at the line of scrimmage, get my hands on them, just using my physicality. I feel like that's the main stuff that I needed to work on this offseason.
Dan Wiederer.
Kevin, Deshane mentioned yesterday your playing experience last year against the Cowboys and the Packers as valuable moments for you. What are some of the specifics you remember about whether going against Amari Cooper, but within those two games of things that you recall that have been valuable for you pressing into this year?
I'll just be like, it's just a learning curve. Just trying to see where I'm at, seeing what I need to work on against the best, just going against the best, and just going out there and competing. So I just got to take it on this year, just be better.
Pat Finley.
Were you motivated when they drafted somebody who played your position in the second round?
Oh yeah, I was motivated a lot. I always had a chip on my shoulder since I've been here. So, it's just a competition thing. I'm not afraid of competition. I don't think nobody on this team is afraid of competition. So, you just got to compete every day.
Dan Wiederer.
Kevin, I'm sorry. There's been a lot of curiosity over the last few months about how football is going to work during the coronavirus pandemic. Now that you've been back at camp for a few weeks, where are you mentally and what gives you sort of confidence that this thing can go smoothly for a few months?
You talking about like playing games?
Just everything, just the whole thing that without having interruptions and staying safe through it all.
How I look at it, you just got to control what you can control. Just coming to work every day with a mindset that you go get better every day. And if anything happens, you just got to know that, that last day that you had at work, that you just went all out. So, if something happened, then I'll know, what I'm saying, that, that last day that I had, I just, did what I had to do.
Pat Finley.
Your coaches talked yesterday about you trying to learn kind of where everybody else is, and you've mentioned it a couple times here. Why was that important to you? And what goes into that? Are you jumping into other Zoom meetings and stuff like that just to give you a sense of what's going on?
Yeah, this offseason OTAs, I was in the safeties meetings, Zoom meetings a couple times. It's just something that the old, like the vets that's been here, told me about, like how you just got to know, like you got to pick your leverage. When you're at corner, know where your help is at. You just got to know the whole defense, and it would just make the game easier for you. So I feel like I had to, apply that to my game.
Dan.
Kevin, you've seen what this defense can be like at its best. As you guys get into camp and start to have that confidence and that cohesion, what are you feeling right now from this 2020 version of this D?
I feel like we a whole new team from last year. I feel like we have everybody has the same mindset of going out there and winning. It's just practice. The energy in practice is just way different than last year. So, we just gotta keep it going. We got 3 weeks left to the first game, so we just gotta just keep going.
How do you describe what that energy is?
Turned up, turned up every day, turned up.
Colleen Kane.
Why do you think that energy is so different this year?
Just the way we ended last year, because we know we wasn't supposed to end like that. So, I feel like everybody that came back just had that in the back of their mind going into practice every day, that, we gotta put it on a practice field and convert it to the game. So, I feel like we go be real good this year.
Pat Finley.
How does Jimmy Graham look to you?
Like the Terminator.
How so?
That's what I called him the other day. I said he looked just like the Terminator. He walked like him and everything. He's a beast. He's a freak, but he's gonna get us better each and every day.
Is he serious like the Terminator too?
Yeah, you can say that.
Dan Wiederer.
Kevin, how do you feel about this DBs versus wide receiver title belt match that's ongoing through camp?
Like I said, it's competition every day. You got to go out there and compete. But I feel like that's another like push to make you want to go harder because you know everybody gonna want the belt at the end of the day. So just to have bragging rights for that day. But yeah, we just gotta. I just love competing. Just got to go out there and compete, and all the DBs do.
Are you tired of hearing Coach Furry's voice?
Oh no, not at all, not at all. I ain't tired yet.
Any other questions for Kevin, guys? Awesome. Thanks for your time, Kevin.
Appreciate it.